Good morning. We'll wait just a couple of minutes. Let everybody join us. Oh, I hope you had a good weekend. Mine was crazy, busy. Seems like they always are lately. Let me get my computer going here. Okay, here y'all come. My notifications aren't scrolling. There they go. There they go. Good morning, Lisa. I hope you're feeling good this morning. Good morning, Lori. And Val. I see y'all coming in now. Good morning, Emma. How are you? I'm guzzling coffee this morning. My husband and I are binge watchers, which means we don't have cable. We cut cable over a year ago, and we don't watch a lot of TV, but we tend to watch Netflix series or Amazon Prime series or something like that. And so we get hooked on them, and then we'll watch 2 or 3 episodes all at one time. And so we've been watching one on Amazon, and we're on the last season of it, and I think we only have 5 more episodes, and so we stayed up too late last night watching that, and so I'm guzzling coffee today, trying to get back on, trying to get my body awake. And then I don't know what we're going to watch when this is over. Don't need to watch anything. I've got too much to do. I need to be doing that instead. But that's how we relax and wind down. So good morning, Sandy and Lonnie. How are y'all doing this morning? Good morning, Ruth. Okay, I'm going to jump in, and I'll try to watch the comments and respond to you as best I can. But what am I watching? We're watching Lark Rise to Candleford. Lark Rise and Candleford are 2 little towns. It's a historical drama. My husband describes it and says it's like Downton Abbey meets Little House on the Prairie. It's just a very clean, wholesome, we've just loved it. I'll tell you, it took 3 episodes before I decided I was going to like it. The first 2, I thought, I don't know. But once we got to know the characters, then we were sucked in. And so there are 4 seasons of it, and we just started season 4. And so we're enjoying it. But so if y'all have any suggestions, let me know, because I don't know what we'll watch after this. We love history. Okay, so our subject this week it's really simple. And that kind of covers several different areas, but the first one I want to talk about is a word that gets people really agitated. And boy, if you want to bring out some personality in people, this word will do it. Carbohydrates. Some people, you mention carbohydrates and they just get tense and nervous and think, are you telling me that I'm going to have to give up carbohydrates and go on a Atkins type diet? Nope, not saying that at all. Been there, done that, tried it, lost weight, gained it back. But we do need to be careful about the carbohydrates that we eat. Does Weight Watchers tell us to avoid carbohydrates? No. Weight Watchers doesn't tell us that we have to avoid anything. But I think, and I've learned for me, and I'm not speaking for Weight Watchers, I'm speaking for me, sharing my experiences with you. I've learned that if I really want to effectively lose weight and keep it off, good morning, sister girl, I have to be careful about simple carbohydrates. And those of you who are diabetic probably know this much better than the rest of us, but the more simple your carbohydrates are, the faster they get into your bloodstream, And so my understanding is if a person who's diabetic eats a simple carbohydrate, that negatively or could negatively affect their blood sugars. So when you think about it, if we eat, like for instance, if I'm feeling sluggish in the afternoon. Good morning, Papa James and Nana Shirley and all the rest of you coming in. If I'm hungry in the afternoon, or I'm feeling sluggish, or my energy level is is slow, if I eat a piece of fruit, does that satisfy my hunger? Yeah, it can, but it doesn't sustain me very long. I think that's because the sugar level in it just goes through my system faster. Whereas if I have a complex carbohydrate, it takes longer for my body to process, to break the fiber down, to digest it, and so it sustains me longer. Okay, what are simple carbohydrates? I printed out, let me grab it off my printer. I was looking it up this morning, and this website, which is a medical website, it says complex carbohydrates may be referred to as a dietary starch and are made of sugar molecules strung together like a necklace. Okay, they're often rich in fiber. They're satisfying and health promoting. Complex carbohydrates are commonly found in whole plant foods and are also high in vitamins and minerals. Simple carbohydrates, here's the simple part, they're sugar. All simple carbohydrates are made of just one or two sugar molecules. They're a quick source of energy, but are rapidly digested. Okay, so if you're gonna focus on or think about which carbohydrates are better for us, not suggesting that fruit isn't good for us. I eat a good bit of fruit every day, but if I need energy and I need it to kind of sustain me until the next meal, I can't rely on just something that's simple. I need to add a protein with it, or I need to add something that's got some fiber with it. So if you're finding yourself waning in the afternoon, or between meals you feel like you're getting sluggish or you're stalling or something, look at the amount of simple carbohydrates that you're feeding your body. Maybe it's too simple. Maybe you need to add something that will keep your sugar levels more consistent, more constant, more leveled off. But we all need fiber. So look at your whole grains, your plant-based food, but the more sugar we put in our diet, I think the greater chance of us feeling sluggish. I think it's a greater chance of us beginning to stall. If you're hitting a plateau, look at what you're eating and see how many simple carbohydrates are in there. Maybe, I'm not saying eliminate them, but maybe start replacing them with something else. Wanda says, I love light Laughing Cow cheese with raw veggies for a snack. That's a great snack. And again, I'm not suggesting that fruit isn't a good snack. I brought fruit for my snacks today, but fruit by itself is just going to go through your body a lot faster. Maybe add something with that fruit that will sustain you a little bit longer. That's carbohydrates. What about our activity? It doesn't have to be complex. I think I posted the other day a little message that I saw somewhere that said, and I wish I could remember exactly how it said it, but it said something about just because you can't do it all doesn't mean you shouldn't do something. If you can't walk a mile, then walk a block. If you can't lift 10 pounds, then lift 2 pounds. If you can't walk for an hour today, walk for 10 minutes. But just because you can't do it big doesn't mean you shouldn't do it at all. So I know, speaking for me, I tend to get my day really busy, lots of demands on my time, and I have a bad habit of biting off more than I really can chew. And so exercise tends to be the one thing that gets dropped off the list for me. And because I set a goal for myself of this is going to be my workout for today, and then if I look at my schedule and see I'm just flat not going to have time to get all that done, it's really easy then to not do any of it. So my challenge for you this week is, if you catch yourself in that place and you can't do all of it, don't not do any of it. Just do some. Do 10 minutes here and there, or whatever if it's walking, or if it's running, or if it's weight training, or whatever your activity is going to be, break it down into small, simple bites, but do it. Just do something. Don't make it so complex that you don't do anything. Let's see, Sharon says, yesterday I did the treadmill throughout the day and ended with 16,000 steps. That's wonderful, and that's what I'm saying. You probably, if you're like me, wouldn't have time to get on the treadmill and in one swoop knock out 16,000 steps, but I could go in there 4 or 5 times a day and do 10 minutes of walking. So just because you can't do it all doesn't mean you shouldn't do it at all. Just break it down into small bites. The old saying that we've heard since we were kids, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So same thing applies with our activity level. Just do what you can, when you can, until you can do more. We tend to get our mentality in a place where it has to be all or nothing, and life isn't like that. I see people all the time, and I know you do, who they're struggling with Weight Watchers because they can't do it perfectly. Well, none of us are perfect. All of us have bad days. All of us have bad meals. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just because you may have had a bad meal this weekend, or maybe you had a bad weekend, it's okay. It's over. Just get right back on track and make simple, easy, small improvements until those small improvements become a little bit bigger and a little bit better, and the bad choices are fewer and farther apart. That's progress. You're not going to be able to do this Weight Watchers journey perfectly. None of us do. It's called life, and life sometimes throws curves at us. So don't quit just because you aren't able to do it perfectly. Just do it simply. And simply sometimes means just your best as often as you can. Make sense? Okay. I read this quote, and this is the quote I want to share with you today. Your life is your message. What will your message say about you today? If someone else is watching your Weight Watchers journey, what message are you sending them? Are you sending them the message that if you can't do it perfectly, you just quit and you get upset, you beat yourself up, call yourself all kinds of ugly names? Or are you sending them a message that if you have a bad day, you just adjust and you keep moving on? Your life is your message. What is your message going to say about you and your journey today? Make it positive. Live this Weight Watchers journey so that if someone is quietly watching you, they'll get the message that, you know what, I think I can do that too. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to really apply myself and try, and then adjust when I have a bad day. Make it so that somebody wants to come ask you questions about what you're doing. Nobody wants to try something that looks so hard and so frustrating. If they're seeing frustration from you, nobody wants to do that, because none of us have time for more frustration and more things that beat us up and wear us down. So if you're going to be a Weight Watchers ambassador this week, how many people will want to try Weight Watchers because of what they see in you? Be an ambassador. The 5K is coming up Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow is May 1st, so that'll be here before we know it. So I hope you join me. It's not a really organized event. All we're doing is we're encouraging everyone at some point during the 3-day Memorial Day weekend. For those of you here in the United States, those of you abroad, it's the last weekend in May. And we're just encouraging you at some point that weekend to get out, walk 3.1 miles if you can. If you can't, walk what you can. Or if you want to run it, or if you want to do a combination. And then take a selfie at the end of it and post it that weekend, showing us that you just completed the first Weight Watchers Over 50 5K challenge. I know some people have said that they're going to do one each of the 3 days, and I think that's awesome. If you have a group t-shirt, wear it. That would make the picture even better. If you don't and you want to order one, my understanding is that the one that says I can, I will, watch me sale ends today. So if you want that shirt, today will be your last chance to order it. There are a couple of other shirts that they're offering, and I think you can only get those the rest of this week. So it's in the pinned post, which is at the very top of our Facebook group page. That'll have the link to take you there. And if you have any questions, reach out to the moderators and they'll be happy to answer. I don't have much to do. I don't really have hardly anything to do with the t-shirt sales. So if you have questions, reach out. But today is the last day. Today is also the last day for the Evict the Creep challenge, which was our challenge to get those things out of your life that creep in and cause you to fall. We are having another challenge in May. Valerie Fitzwater, one of our moderators, is kind of heading that up, and she's going to post the information today. So if you want to join us in our May challenge, be looking for that. And I think that's it. Again, it really is simple. We tend to make it harder than it has to be, and then we use that as our excuse to fail. So simple is good, except when it comes to our carbohydrates. Don't eat all simple. Make the complex carbohydrates a little more visible in your diet, and they're just good for you. The whole grains and the fibers and those things. Our body is designed to need complex. So let's give our body complex and let's give our mind the simple. Make sense? Okay. I hope you have a wonderful week. I love seeing your progress on the board. I love seeing your encouragement to each other. I love seeing your celebrations. It just makes my day when I see somebody just patting themselves on the back. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we're brought up to think you don't brag about yourself, and typically we don't, but we want to celebrate with you. So we don't know how to do that or don't know when to do that unless you share with us. So thanks for sharing those. Thanks for celebrating with each other. It just makes everybody's day better to know that, that you know, people care, and we do care. So keep posting those questions, keep posting your celebrations, and keep supporting and encouraging each other. It makes everybody's day and life a little bit nicer to know that they have a bunch of friends behind them in their corner. Okay, I'm going to get off of here and get busy. I've got work to get done today, and I'll try to go back and read your messages and comments and answer any questions that I can. But other than that, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the board. Bye.